2025, another year, another closed chapter, and with this season we have another batch of movies that I consider to be my favorite from this year. This is only my own list, so don't feel shy and share yours also in the comments below. Without further ado, let's begin with number 15, How to Train Your Dragon. The original movies mean a lot to me. I must have rewatched the first one countless times during a time in my life when I desperately needed a safe place from my mind to rest. So naturally I went into this one feeling a bit too cynical from the start. But I've got to say I loved this one. Sure, it's nowhere near as great as the original animated movie, but it's a shot-for-shot remake with a few changes here and there. Visually, the locations picked and the cinematography are stellar. What I didn't like mostly comes down to how certain characters act and how scenes play out. What works in animation doesn't always translate well to live action, and it just doesn't feel the same. I'm including it on this list because it's a clear statement of what remakes should be. If you're going to retell a story due to a lack of original ideas, this is how you do it. How to Train Your Dragon captures the nostalgia, retells the story with a fresh look, and lets you anticipate and relive the moments you already know and love. And that, my friend, that is what a good remake should do in all art forms. It's an eye-opening blueprint for studios. Oh, and the music, perfection. Coming out in number 14, Avatar: Fire and Ash. Many moments filled with metaphors and spiritual, even religious themes makes this movie a rich piece, with an ending that left my body shaking with goosebumps. Yes, this entry clearly recycles many elements and scenes from its predecessors, but for me it worked as a comfort movie, where cliches feel like a safe harbor, especially because this is a sad movie. It's excruciating at times though. Its predictable core ended up being its greatest strength, and the new ideas introduced truly impact me, leading to that beautiful final moment. It is not perfect, it has many flaws in its writing and does not fully justify its runtime of over 3 hours, especially because it's 3 hours of complete sadness. At least 80% of it, which may feel tiring for many viewers. Still, a beautiful continuation. In number 13, Frankenstein. It's a crime that this isn't exclusively premiering on the big screen. It diverges in certain aspects to highlight its concepts, and it does it so brilliantly and heartbreakingly. It illustrates the fragility of existence itself, the meaning of life in its most basic form, making us question what it means to have a soul, and whether in this case the creature has the right to one. Fatherhood is also a major theme here, and the movie shows how important it can be when its presence in a person's life is positive. In number 12, King of Kings. Such a beautiful movie. I wanted a kid to magically be teleported to that time period and be more involved in the story itself, because one of my favorite scenes was when Jesus passes his hand on the boy's face near the end. These subtle interactions made me tear up. Beautiful animation, such a beautiful score, it's just a beautiful movie. In number 11, Weapons. Now into something eerie and darker. Weapons captures exactly the feeling I was expecting after watching the first teaser. It's a movie I appreciate for its structure and taking a concept that some might say is executed with more style than substance, but in my opinion it definitely worked here. Now the number 10, Sentimental Value. It's a tender movie where everything feels beautiful in the end. It depicts devastating truths hidden behind walls, with people who never fully confront them, instead turning their trauma into art or shutting down completely. Years pass and they fail to truly nurture connections with family, friends or partners. Later in life, they watch everything slip by, overwhelmed by nostalgia for something they never fully experienced. It's about trying to reclaim that lost important part of life itself. It follows an arc of redemption, rediscovering the joy of the inner child, facing past mistakes, and coming to terms with distant memories. I just hope there's no DVD player for that kid anytime soon. In number 9, Train Dreams, a story about dealing with grief and the absence of moments that exist only in distant memories, filled with beautiful sensations that warm the heart of someone seeking solace between an uneasy weight. It makes us reflect on how fragile life is and how important it is to cherish moments with those we love, considering that many people in the same situation as the main character were not so fortunate, having so much time taken away from them due to the material and technological evolution of the era portrayed. Once again, another one worthy of the big screen, rather than being forgotten in the streaming catalog. Number 8, F1. Just a damn fun movie with a cliché redemption story that some people usually say that it's not made anymore. It got some great cinematography with the racing scenes, and of course Hans Zimmer's score, it's like a supercar built for war. Taking the 7th place 28 years later. Despite not being well received in general, 28 years later surprised me as a fan of the zombie genre, wanting something more than a simple zombie action. It has some great themes, it teases us about the nature of the virus, how the infected work, and the idea that these people somehow retain humanity within the infection, full of great performances and the cinematography that, for the most part, is dreamlike. Nightmare fuel too. By the way, the sequel Bone Temple is also great, and backs up a lot of the theories I had about its predecessor. In number 6, Marty Supreme. It's a damn good movie that goes from 0 to 100 real fast. While it feels like everything is against him, trying to glue him to a certain life, it's also clear that his own behavior isn't great either. He's lived so long in an environment of manipulation that he ends up doing it himself, almost by instinct. Even though I think he still cares, he's reached a point where nothing will stop him from achieving his goal. Only then does he believe he'll be able to take care of everything else. It's a really fun movie also, batshit crazy at times, and unrealistic in some scenes, but overall it's an absolute blast. Number 5, The Phoenician Scheme, and I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. Wes Anderson makes his characters and the actors' performances the top priority, all within a grand visual style where every frame looks like a scene in a stage play. Storytelling and architecture are encapsulated in a gorgeous cinematic picture in which every detail contributes to a satire of various themes. Very few filmmakers today create works that evoke the classics like Wes does, the kind that made many of us fall in love with cinema and storytelling in the first place. In 4th place, Black Dog, an exploration of humanity through intimate moments, capturing the raw closeness we share in life itself. Confusing at times with little explanation behind its most crucial narrative events, it's not concerned with clarity but with presence. It simply wants to show these moments and portray a harsh reality. Everything changes, everything evolves, and life always finds a way to move forward. And sometimes it leaves something behind, or what used to spark with life can deteriorate and stay in the past. Much like the old villages where the young live for the big cities, abandoning the elderly and letting what was once grand slowly fade away. 3rd place goes to The Life of Chuck. Quite a simple movie where its complexity lies in the simplest details, also containing multitudes. A beautiful odyssey flipped around, with a meaning for Act 3 that is beautifully executed in a very ambiguous way. In 2nd place, Rental Family. Rental Family was a huge surprise, celebrating life, the importance of real human connections, and also finding purpose in a world where people are so isolated by everyday chores. A movie depicting the difference between being real and playing a part, and how we can play a part by simply giving company to those in need. Now, my favorite movie of 2025 is Good Boy. Intense from start to finish, well acted, with the dog performing better than most actors of this generation, wholesome and quite emotional. I loved this movie. I see it's been labeled as mediocre and accused of bringing nothing new to the table. To me, it still worked. This movie makes you care about the characters, therefore the horror elements are effective. Also, these days, a simple movie like this, well crafted and executed, really is a gift. I also feel that the supernatural element can be seen as a metaphor for the owner slowly losing himself as the disease progresses, much like what happened to his grandfather, whose dog went missing after his body was found. It plays with your expectations because you genuinely want to see both what happened happened before and what's going to happen next to this poor puppy trying to survive such a nightmarish scenario. Or perhaps just the pain of watching his guardian slowly fade away, feeling his humans slip further out of reach. Let me know your thoughts on this list, share yours in the comments below. Also, if you found my channel and you like what I do here, consider subscribing, and we'll see each other in the next video. See ya!